right. Welcome back to K2SE, Fantastic Mr. Ghost. Oh, boy. Hope you enjoyed the rockets and the smelters coming to life. Oh, my gosh. I had to do a little entourage on that. I figure if I'm going to do all this off-screen work, I might as well record little bits and speed them up, put some cool music to it. I love the classical music. I think that's the 1812. What is that? Oh, I hit the look. I forgot. I can't remember. But yeah, it's a really good royalty. Well, that's not royalty free, but I don't care. Look at all this pollution. Okay, well, there you go. Got some lights in. Look at that. Yeah, it's really dark without lights. My Pioneers playthrough, for some reason, it's always daytime. I don't know what happened with it. And I didn't do any console commands, so I don't know. Well, here we go. We got the fuel rocket, Astis, Cornetto, and Calidus asteroid belt. The belt is covered up by the rocket. Oops. And then we got Jord. I think the N is silent, but this is Scandinavian, so I'm not too sure how to pronounce that. I want to say it's Jord. Maybe. I don't know. So, yeah, the reason for these two here is if we go to our planetary view, Calidus orbit has barrel. And we're going to need that for the next science pack. And then the other one, which I don't know where. It has. Oh, here it is right here. This one has the Vulcanite. We're going to need that too. I think that's the. There's also iridium we're going to have to get. And I don't... Where is the iridium? I don't see it anywhere. Maybe it's on one of these planets. We have to look at... there might be other planets that have some resources like... for example, the Calidus here. It may have that. See here, well, that's a Mersite. Now here's Holmanite right here, but it's not much. So you don't want to waste your time on a planet that doesn't have much, because you could set up the core mining drills for those. So I might have to look through here. Here's the Iridite right here, see? And it's not listed, so it'd be nice to change this so that you could, like rename it. I don't know if there's a way or what, but so yeah, we're gonna need Iridite for iridium. Wow, look at all that coal. So I have to manually look through all these and see if there is. Oh, that's a Mersite. I have to look through these and see what's going on here. There's Cryonite on that one. Rare. Here's Iridite. A little bit, not much. So yeah, that's the tricky part. That's a frozen planet there. You can kind of tell by the environment. Here's Beryl right here. Now, I'm not committed to the planets here. So I just, put the planet name as a, kind of a marker there. So here's Beryl. And let's see, what else do we have on here? Oh, not much else. Wow, it's a frozen planet, but not much Cryonite. That's interesting. Garaft. I think these planets are all the same. Oh, look at this. This is a good barrel amount. Now, there might be barrel. Is there barrel on the Cornetto? Let's see here. Yeah, there is a little bit. So I could very well set up something there since we're already here, But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So here's the rocket things. I can't access these commuters here. We'll have to run over there, and I'll go over this. This is a constant commutator for a test case, and I ended up scrapping the positive. I think I'm negative. Yeah, I'm negative on the capsules, but I went positive on these here, the cargo sections, and that's because I had to do some other commutator work here. And all I gotta do is sense how many capsules I have, or how many cargo sections I have, and then if it's 19, then I send a rocket. So it's gonna be kind of interesting. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. even, you know, these are sent by green signal, you know, trigger on. And then I had to do, this is the negating here. And what it's doing is negating what's in the rocket. I have a constant combinator set to 21 because I have to have one inside to launch. And then 20 is the number I'm looking to send. And then I'm bouncing it off of this number. So 15 minus whatever's here. And then, so this is 5. As you can see, there's minus 6. That's why I have to go 21 here. So it's not 5, it's 6. It's 5 inside plus 1. So we have 6 negative, 21 here. That's 15. And then I'm simulating that I have, so 5, and I'm simulating minus 15. So I already have 15 already at this Calidus, whatever. And so the input was 5. And then it's going to be a retroactive. So I was trying to think of, well, how can I get it to be... Well, I'd have to set up more stuff in order for it to not be retroactive, to be proactive. So I'd have to pull, like I was saying last episode, I think it was, I have to pull stuff out as fuel rockets go. Then I have to pull out because of the changes. But I figure, that's, you know, let's not take on too much here, you know. So 1 receiver for 4 rockets. The fuel is set up to launch when the pad is empty. Whatever pad is empty, it'll launch to it. So that'll be fine. And then what else did I get here? Oh, and then I have the counters here to load the rocket sections for the rocket. And I belted all this up. So, oh, I got to get rid of this case here. I was holding on. I wanted to let it run and then be able to capture the footage for all the rockets coming up, so I didn't have to wait. So I was working on other stuff. So I got to come over here and fix that. Yeah, so I got the compressed rocket sections right here. And then we'll get, when we get beryllium, I think it is, we'll get a better recipe. And the plan I have is this I'll rip out because we're going to have to receive a rocket of beryllium. It's you get 2 rocket sections. It's much cheaper. So it's 50% production on that. And the only thing is you have to send a rocket of beryllium over here. We'll send it to Novice here, and we'll produce the rocket sections. And the plan is to pull this out of here and redo it. So I figure I'll work with what I have here. So that'd be nice. This is the return. Oh, I got to get this on TSM. I had a little bit of a glitch where I was requesting the rocket or the space capsules, and the problem is it was delivering from here and going to here because like I said, I have the -1. I think that's covering no matter what. It's 1 through whatever. So I set this up for 1 network ID, but and I would have had to set up. Well, I set it up for 1, but it's still delivered here, even though I had it at 1. It shouldn't deliver at all. The TS or LTM shouldn't have activated at all. So I think that negative, like I said, I got to change that -1. But I realized though I can use TSM to pick up the stuff from the other rockets that I may receive here, and there's going to be more and more coming, and especially for modules. When I do the modules, it's Cryonite rockets coming here, and the immersite crystals are coming here. So there's going to be 3 pickup areas so far, So, this is the space capsule build here. It's kind of funny. I forgot to hook the belts up, so I had to quickly hook up the belts. I was going to leech off of these here, but the beacon would have to move back. I could have moved it back and popped a splitter in here maybe, and then I could have went right here, because this belt right here, because this belt has the low density structures. But it's okay because this isn't going to run unless I'm 0 here on the return, so. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this, and I got a lot of room for expanding. And yes, concrete. Oh, I got to put the science rocket in and the personal rocket. I got these plates here. So over here is, I patched in the rocket right here. Up here. So this is the platform rocket. I didn't have the plate in. So I got the fuel coming in here, and I'm dumping off steel only because I'm belting in the low-density structures, and I'm belting in the heat shielding from the actual builds. So it made sense. I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? It makes sense to put it here. And then in the recording, I forgot to hook this up. So I was loading them directly in. I'm like, ah, crap. So I had to quickly put this in, and luckily I, was able to keep the recording. Oh, and then I'm doing this dual LTN stop. I don't like to do this very much, but for 111 trains, it works okay. In Pionodons, it breaks every so often because you have different stuff coming in and it doesn't work. It's really tough sometimes, but it works fine for this application. You just do a dual stop, and you'll see that they line up with the inserters here. So this one is the rocket sections, and you have to use red and green wire here, so because you have the same case, because it'll conflict with the LTN signals. So these are two different combinators here, 2-1 on the capsules. So that worked out pretty well there. And then the sulfur rocket, which is right here. I had to squeeze it in, doing a Dashington rail system over here, really tight. It gets pretty tricky because, you got a lot of stuff going on here, so trains you can get gridlock, so I'll have to keep an eye on this. Make sure I signal it correctly. Because, yeah, a train could come up here and stop for a train to come out. I mean, this should be okay, but, well, I'll keep an eye on that. So I got 25,000 sulfur in there, and the fuel and all that stuff. That was pretty fun. And if you'll notice, I've got the concrete going on. I'm just kind of playing around while things are building up right now, I haven't done anything special here, just concreting. I was thinking about putting like a concrete here, but the problem is the grass sticks out of it. So I might do the Castorio black in between, these blank areas here. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do there yet. So I was having fun with that. Ah, coal train's coming. Ooh, where are you going? You're coming up here? Why are you coming up here? Oh, the steel is still running. Oh, wow, it's finally full. Yeah, this puppy, holy cripes. You got to turn alt mode on, and you'll see that I have one starved out. But that's okay, because these are... Oh, that's actually done. That's actually done. Oh, one of the things I had to do, you'll notice there might be a few cuts and changes and stuff in the way the smelters were kind of turning on. That's because I was seeing, these were there was flow issues here, and I had to put pumps in. I kind of figured I was going to have to do that. I got the steel Factorio 2 pumps in here, and those were the shining of the build here, the star of the build, maybe I should say. So that worked out pretty well. Yeah, the steel pumps, they pump better. And so let's... Oh, I got alt mode on here. Oh, yeah, the copper filled up quick. And then the iron filled up pretty fast, too. The steel is a real dog. Oh, my God. This stuff is a nightmare. But right now, yeah, see, the problem is the craft speed on these are just horrible. I mean, look how... It's like, what, 20 seconds? No, it's 100 seconds. That's almost, over a minute and a half. And I'm speeding them up and putting beacons in. Holy crap. I swear I feel like taking the speed out and putting taking the efficiency out and putting speed in. So here I had to force the fluids down because they weren't getting all the way down. I figured that was going to happen based on the fact that, Dashington had a problem. When you get these big builds like this, it's pretty tough. So I think on future builds, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do more like separate. I'm going to feed it all the raw ore in to these smelters here, all at once, with one contiguous belt. When it comes to these industrial furnaces here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dedicate a smelting, I think this is refined iron, enriched iron. I'm going to dedicate an enriched iron block to a certain amount, whatever makes sense, for the industrial furnaces, because I'm having trouble getting ore all the way down to the end of the belt. So, but the question is, will these run that hard? I was having, oh, and there was some some pipes I forgot to put in. I was like kicking myself. I forgot to hook up the center here, the dirty water. And then I forgot to hook all these up to each other and then to the sulfuric acid and all that. I was like, oh man, I got to do that too. Okay, the other thing that's a problem here, I don't know if it's, well, I'm trying right now. Okay, at 6100, yeah. So the rare metals are not raw rare metals here. Henceforth, the rare metals, which is like the little ingots. That's a Factorio 2 edition. You know, the space exploration does not have the rare metals. And the issue here is, as you can see, I'm backing up on copper now. So the core mining is not, I mean, unless you can guarantee you're gonna have equal, let me back it up. If you're gonna have consistent production or consumption of science, I should say, henceforth consistent production, then this might run. So right now what I have to do, because I'm not running anything with rare metals, which is the next thing, is that they're not used very much in this mod until maybe way later in late game. Then we'll get a rare metal, you know, consumption, more of it. So right now I have to frickin' grind them up, the rare metals. And this is free. This is infinite. Yeah, I have to spend some power on it, but I'd rather spend the power and keep this consistently running than not, you know. Now, I can pop down more core miners and specifically take the core, you know, material and, you know, do copper only, iron only, but you get a diminished return on that. And you don't get pyroflux, which, I don't know, I'm not really getting much. Pyroflux, I patched it in right here, I think. Yeah, right here. So something's bound to back up, you know, but right now I'm just focusing on the heavy hitters. Stone is one of them, so I'm just making landfill right now from the extra stone here. And if it backs up, I don't care, because I've got the trains bringing ore in. I don't really care. But if anything, I'm going to back up. Yeah, I'm going to back up on something. It looks like it's going to be copper here. So, yeah, everything ran pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. There's some learning curves here, you know, with a big system like this. You know, the next one will hopefully be better. The next one will hopefully be better, you know. Okay, so that's done. I'm going to let that steel go, but I wanted to hook this up here because, you know, we're backing up on copper, so it makes sense to run this. And when I just have an uncapped chest because it's right now it's free. So I don't really care at this point. So there we go. Boom. Look at this go. So the trick here is to look and see, are you actually exporting? You know, so we should be exactly 4 blue belts of copper here. So eventually when the buffers run out in the machines, then you'll start to see it. There's one. Yeah, see it's coming around a little bit. So right now they're, you know, doing it. Oh, yeah, these two sides here have the extra. So that's going to help keep that going. Hey, what's going on here? We don't have a full blue belt. A blue belt. It's possible I'll have to take probably this here. And I'll have to do an underground to smooth this out. I might have to do that. Because, yeah, we're not getting the full effect here. See how this is jamming up? That's because this is half. It's supposed to be a half. So it should be quarter, really. So I might adjust that. I could, maybe I could do this. Like that. That might even it out. I don't know. We'll see. That way. There we go. Yeah, it evened it out. There we go. Yeah, because we have to balance it out. That top machine is going to be holding it up. So there we go. We got it. There we go. It's still farting out a little bit. Now this is backing up a little bit here. So where they're on all 4. Yeah, I'll have to play around with that. It doesn't matter. Now the question is, how is this doing? Holy cripes. It's going to take a while for these buffers. It's 50 in there. Holy moly. That's a lot of copper, baby. That is a lot of copper. Oh, look at this. Filling it up. Just goes to show you, this thing can run. Yeah, this is going to run. And it's interesting how these aren't going. Oh, that's because they're side-loaded. Yeah, yeah. So this isn't meant... The ingots are a lot, really, 5 times less than this for production here. And it's done. It's already done. Holy crap. Well, I might as well flow the iron now. Let's go ahead and do that. The 2 blue belts. And this is balanced here. And yeah, like I said, I'm not capping it because, well, one, I want to test it out, so I may cap it afterwards. And the other thing is I didn't put input stackers here. I could move this down and, you know, do some input stackers, you know. And, you know, this, I'm not committed to, you know, wherever these things are. And the reason it's so far down is because I want to keep on grid with the rail, you know. Kind of one of my things there. So how we doing here? Yeah, there we go. Starting to remove the buffers out. I'm not entirely sure how much. Oh, and these two are supposed to run together anyway. Yeah. So whether steel is even though steel is buffered, still running, the iron should be able to run alongside steel. So that's how that's going here. So this is for production within the base, you know, here on Novice. So let's see how we're doing here now. Yeah, it's still kind of popping out. It might be, I might have rounded up, or there might be a rounding, you know, like it was less than 1 or whatever. Less than 1 of these machines here. So the other issue I had is I screwed up on these. I have to use green wire, and the red wire is sending the information, so it was offsetting what I had in here, I think. It was the math here with the red wire was screwing up with these, so I had a little bit of an issue there. As you can see, I got a lot of stone in there right now. And over here I had an issue, so I had to play around with these settings here, 8500 and all that, because I might as well jam this up with copper, you know. So there you go. Oh, and then I had this issue here because the stone return from copper, the iron, and I could probably get rid of that now because I have this set up here. So it can, you know, notice how it's not running. So I got 6900 in there. So I'm depending on the trees to chew up the stone here at this point. And since rare metals aren't running consistently or at all, this is the stone eater right here because we need it for the hydrogen chloride, you know. So normally this would be chewing up the stone. So that's why I had to do the landfill thing up here. But if it backs up on stone up here, I'm okay with that. It'll trickle out, you know, eventually. So I got to keep an eye on this crap here. This is okay because I'm just voiding it. So I just wanted to keep this up and running. Okay, let's see how our iron is doing here. Looks like it's still going. Yep. Yep, okay. So, yeah, it looks like they're all running. So that's key, too. Even though these like you can see these belts are exporting here, these 4 machines are running, even though they're not exporting their material. So that is good. We're getting a consistent blue belt at least out of here, you know, and the ingots are staying pretty well stable there. And look at this, is hardly running here. So, oh, I should have done that. I should have hooked the steel up while I was doing that. Because then I could have tested it all. That's 20,000. It's got a little while to go there. So there we go. We got a red. We'll do a red belt of steel here. And oh, and I want to go to Astus. I got to redo Astus. So I'll showcase that in a cut here. So I'll go to Astus, and then I'll show you what I got on that planet. And then we're good on the rebuild so far. Oh, asteroid. So that's running. I think, look at this pollution. I had to go kill some biters out here. I had to go wreck them. Oh, I got to do this. I gotta remember to do this part here. Oh, I did run all the science, and speaking of science, novice orbit, I have the Immersium solar panels. They're slightly larger than the vanilla ones, and I'm getting 471 megawatts. And I built the platforms up a little more here, so I can fit that extra footprint in. I haven't ripped this up yet, but I will. And I have even, see, I did the bots here, see? While I was up here screwing around with the solar panels, I put these in. So when I send a rocket up, I will get them to do more platform stuff. And I have a train up here now. And I have an idea to use the Vulcanite block to fuel the trains. But we can't do trains until we get the research unlocked for the rail, because I only have a little bit of rail. So I thought I'll bring the train up here and leave it for the hell of it. So all this is going to get ripped here. Unfortunately, this has to come out, and I'll have to I might have to reposition this somewhere. I don't know where yet. So yeah, this is going to get ripped. And then I cleared out. Oh yeah, I had to temporarily put these cases here with all the crystals and all that. And I think that's it on that front. Yeah, it just, it didn't take long to get through the research. The problem I'm having, though, is that, the science rocket, it'll run out of copper. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to mention. Where is it? This sucker. Notice how it doesn't return junk data cards, whereas the other ones do. See, we get a junk data card for each science pack, and then we have a 70% chance to get a new machine learning one. So I think, or it's a blank, and then we have to reinitialize it, and the optimization, because it's K2, it's using, the machine learning, and it's using 3. How many do we get out of this? 5. Oh, well, that's good. 3 to 5, but we don't get any junk back. So my rough data was getting mauled, and copper and red circuits, and green circuits. So I was just like, well, there's no way I'm going to be able to plan for that. And it's going to make it tougher for some of those researches. Hopefully there's not some, infinite research that require this optimization data card, because this is a eater of resources right here, this optimization. And I didn't realize that until I'm like, wait, why am I running out of rough data? Why am I running out of copper? And I'm like, oh, it's not returning the junk. Well, that sucks. So I think this would have, I don't know. I don't know if Arundel would have to put this in so that the K2 part of, if you added K2 to this mod, space exploration, it should have a junk return on this. So I don't know if it would be Arundel or the K2 guys. They're probably like both throwing their hands up there. Well, it's his mod, like Arundel is the one who has the junk, so here, yeah. So the junk data card is from space exploration, and this is from K2SE. So they're both going to throw their hands up and go, not my problem. It's Arundel that should do it. And Arundel will go, well, that's K2SE. If you're going to, it's not my problem. You put K2SE with space exploration. That's not my problem. You decided to do that. So I think there would have to be some kind of a tweak mod that gives you junk data cards back for the, what, in a sense, all these should get junk, but because this is using, the machine learning, anything that's using machine learning should return junk, so I don't know. It's just my opinion there. So, I should cap this one though. Let's do it there. 8,900, 9,000. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, you know what though? A full train of steel is 16,000 though. So I think I'll go here. I think I got that other one. I got this steel set up for 8. Yeah, I don't know. I think I should make it more because a train can hold 16,000. So I'll have to think about that. Okay, what else is going on here? I think that's about it. Yeah, for the most part, this has been running pretty good. I gotta keep an eye on it, you know, tweak a few more things. And I might shut down the old ones. 13,000. Yep, see, that's backed up already. This is a pretty good producer, though, of ore. It's pretty good, but like I said, if you're doing the mixed ones, you're going to have issues unless you're consuming in a consistent manner, you know? All right, I'm going to head over to Astus. I'll meet you over there. Okay, well, I got to Astus. I landed. I was going to redo the rockets. And then I realized, wait a minute. This is an outdated build. Way outdated. No beacons, prod 2s, and barely a red belt of the Vulcanite blocks. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta get this redone. So that's what I did. So I did redo the rockets. I went back to Novice, and then in Hell Mod, I decided, yeah, because we're going to be going to at least, well, another planet for beryllium. And I think that's the plan I think I'm going to be going towards here is getting the rocket sections that we have, that we could get 2 out of the craft if we add the beryllium plate, I think it is, and I think it replaces steel. I don't know. So that's going to require a rebuild, and I'm okay with that. So you could take a shot here if you want to look at this longer. Let me go through it quickly. So as you can see, yeah, 1 blue belt of Vulcanite block. 10.05, I went with 10. I was surprised to see the amount of water this steam we get back from the steam. So that's a pretty good amount. But this does eat quite a bit of gasoline now, as you can see here. So if you take the outflow, I think it's 19, let's say 2,000 divided by 60. It's quite a bit of gas. And then we have the, oh, you know, I just had an idea. We've got a centrifuge. Oh, so 1, 2, 4 on the centrifuges. I rounded up, and then a 12. I rounded up to 11, and then added 1 to keep it symmetrical. And then this is just to show how much water we're chewing up here. 2,006 a minute. Now, what's interesting though, it's 2,000, but we're getting back. I have matrix solver on. This is 9,600 a minute. And then 76 and 2,000. There you go. Yeah, so it adds up. So we need to bring in 2,006 a minute after all this. Okay, so there you go. Now, you'll notice that I have 4 columns here. And so if we go back into Hell Mod, I want to show that, and then go back in here. Now, we need 4.5 belts, blue belt of the Vulcanite ore. That's insane. And then we're gaining from the pulverizers a little bit of the, you know, obviously the Vulcanite enriched. And then we've got just over 3. I went with 4 belts because of this. I'm like, forget it. I'm going with 4 belts of the crush. And then we get the quarter blue belt of stone, of course. So all that together, yeah, oh, that's right, because, yeah, we got 3.01, 0.26, and 1.1. So that's 0.37, 0.38. So 3.38, so that pushes you into blue belt, you know, that 4th blue belt pretty strongly there, you know. So now we have this dilemma. Oh, 0.39, 3.982, and 0.39. So that tells me we need 4 belts of the crush. And, well, okay, so you divide that number by 4, right? So let's get a, you know, what you do is you go up to your output here, and you just put a divide by 4. All right? And this will get you the, how many of the centrifuges you need. So it's 31. And what I did is I went 30, it's 32. Well, I ended up, I can't remember how I did it. Let's go blue belt back here. I think I went, it's 1, 2, 4 because I rounded up and then symmetrically, I wanted to do symmetric build here. So I've got 30 here, so 60, and then 34 or 64. So there you go. So that's 124. So I got 2 extra here. So my rounding, I could take these 2 out. Well, actually, it would be 1. But you might as well just put the 1 in, and there you go. So I've got the speed and efficiency full prod. There you go. And I did the belt of crush per side. Oh, and I think that... Oh, yeah. So right here, you'll see that I'm sharing the belt in the middle here. So the long arms are grabbing from the middle right here. And then the crush, it's a belt of crush per side. So I probably could have looped this belt around now that I think about it. I could probably loop this around here, but it's fine the way it is. Now, with blue belt, you know, you get more distance. So this is one of these extractors. Belt extractors here. So I was able to do the 2 belts here. And it will chew this up too. It'll chew up that crush like no tomorrow. So the way that I'm looking at this build, and the way that I think this is how all the builds are going to be primarily, is you're going to have a seeding, you know, where you're going to get, you have like a Covarex process and then a consumption. And the consumption needs what this Covarex process here is. And then you have a lot of crush being consumed here, but also a lot of enriched coming out. And this one here consumes just a little bit of crush, but a lot of the enriched. So they play on each other, but you're going to need crush for the whole thing. Now, this recipe, as we know, it consumes 10 but outputs 4. Now we do have a productivity on that, which, you know, it's good. So it's not really 4, and it's not really 10, and it's not really output of well, it's not really an output of 4 and 4. In fact, we're getting more sand out of this than we normally would. But because Hellmod takes that into consideration, we're good to go. So yeah, this one, it outputs the, let's say 4, you know, just for simplicity, and this, the Vulcanite block, consumes 5. But the productivity drives that down. So we're, you know, again, it's just all numbers, you know, like, whatever. I mean, if I put it in a spreadsheet and looked at the relationships, I could probably see it better. Point is that we're losing crush. We're consuming more crush than we're kicking out from the centrifuges, this enrichment process here. So that's why we need the pulverizers, you know, to keep this maintained. All right. So now... I'm a little worried because look at this. I don't know why I'm getting so much gasoline in here. It's overshooting, so I might have to adjust that down because it just keeps going and going. And I'm like, okay, stop. But I want to use one for both, you know. But it seems to be working. I didn't get any problems there. Believe it or not, this is where the sulfur pad was originally, so I left it there and I built around. I actually was able to fit it here. And then the other thing that I wanted to showcase real quick is trains. 2 8.2s. They're slow as all get out, but I'm going with them. This is just to supplement the 3 mining ops that I do have here. Because I have this one, I have this one, I have this one, and oh, I've got a core mining drill. Now the core mining drill sucks right now. And I think that if you research the mining prod, which is infinite, I think the core mining drills will become better over time. But right now, they're just kind of useless. You don't get much out of them. So because we have a 50% mining productivity, if we get that up to like 400%, yeah, this thing will start to kick out some ore, you know. And then you can add more of these infinite miners here. Because that's all this is it's an infinite mining op. So we'll go over and look at that in a second. Oh, yeah, so I got to get this out of here. I'm glad I saw that. Get out of here. I copied that there because I had to make an adjustment. Come on. There we go. So what I have here for control is, this is a fuel line, believe it or not. So I'm using the crushed to fuel the trains, and it shouldn't take too much from that. I'm hoping. The other option is I'll have to set up a fuel stop with the that better fuel from coal. So I'll probably do that later because I have to come back and I have to finish up the mining ops. So what I have here, I have one down here that I wanted to tap. And then this is all one. So for some reason it's thinking it's joined. So what I might do is tap this one. And I could do a loader on this side here and bring it over. So I don't know. Now, each one of these trains is dedicated to a mining op. But right now, I don't have enough mining ops. I want 5 to keep this flowing here. So, right now I got multiple trains going to the stop here, which I probably should go to V2 because this is a fully mined out one here. I'm using the big mining drills on this to try it out because I can jam these. Oh, I ran out of prod because what I want to do is jam these up with prod to get more out of it, you know. So right now I ran out of productivity modules, so I have to go get more. So you'll notice that on these here, though, I've got one beacon covering 8 miners, and it's 3 prod per on these here. On the big mining ones, you could put a prod and get, well, here's a better, you get 6, and the mining footprint on these will cover all this, you know, so it's all good. Okay, so I had to limit the input of the crush to 5,000 onto this case because it was overrunning on me, and I couldn't remember what I did prior. I know I limited the crush on the prior build that I had here, so that keeps this case from overrunning with crush. And then these are not capped at all because I want to keep the belts full. What I did is I capped these to what this is here. So you want to cap the input. You want to control the input from your centrifuges. And so the enriched I have at 800. So if I drop below 800, then the centrifuges will start to work. Now, so you don't want to cap or control the output to, or well, basically input to these, because then it'll take a while for this to spin up and all the crush to get, you know, populate the belts, you know, and fill the belts. So you don't want to cap your input. You want to cap the input to the case you want to cap. And then these belts here are not capped either. So it's just the input that I needed to worry about from the crush process or the pulverizers and the output of the enrichment process. So crush and vulcanite enriched. So up here, I realized I was using long arm. I got to stop using long arms with these builds. It's you know, you get in that habit of using long arms on these slower builds, and then when you get to these, you're like, oh yeah, I'll use long arms, and then they fail. So I had to, the middle belt is the crush here, and you'll see that I'm splitting, and then I have 2 stack inserters on the crush, and then I have one, it's over just under 2 belts of the enriched, so I'm just going with 2 blue belts here. And the enriched here ends right where? Here, right here. So I curve the belt so it doesn't conflict with this splitter here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, and all that. So the crush comes through and all the way to the end. And then this belt here curves under and over and goes through and ends there. And then the gasoline, because I had long arms on here, my substation, I didn't want to move the substation, so I figured, well, I can, you know, route pipes and stuff like this. That's not a big deal. So I got the gasoline one here. I don't even need this one here. What am I doing? There we go. Fix that. That looks silly. So there's that. I don't know how I did that. I was tired. That's why I was tired. Okay. So because it's 10.05, you don't get a full blue belt. You'll notice a little glitch every so often in the belt. And I'm okay with that, because being just under a blue belt, holy cripes, I am okay with that. Now, I could have put one of these maybe over here. Ah, well, yeah, it's too much work. All right, the rockets. Here we go. rebuilt just like Cornetto, somewhat. I put a beacon, speed beacon with efficiency here and speed on the recyclers for the steel from the refueling. I still have the steel rocket here, and I don't foresee this being sent very much. But when it does send, we'll get all our steel back, which is fine. I hate spending fuel to bring steel plate back home, but the option is to shred it and, you know, I don't know. I just figured leave it here. And this was because I had a lot. Oh, yeah, the barreling was terrible because of I think it was this. Because I was bringing in a lot of water and gasoline. Yeah. So that caused a problem. Well, if you bring sulfuric acid in here, you still have to make the sulfur. Oh, and then, you know what I was thinking? Is I'm venting the oil. What I could do is turn the oil. Oh, I need water to turn oil into gas. So when you do the chemical, the refineries, you need water. Water, crude oil gives you gasoline. So I'm bringing water in. Well, I'm not bringing much water in here. Or there's not much of a demand on water. It's the gasoline that's killing me. So on this thing here, instead of venting the crude oil, I could get some gasoline out of it. But like I said, then I have to shoot water barrels here. And is it really worth it at that point? You know, and there's not much that's going to come out of here. What I did here, I think I did this on Cornetto. I have to look. Let's see. Cornetto. I don't know if I'm counting it. Oh, that's running. Cool. Am I doing this on Cornetto? Yeah, I am. Okay. So I'm doing the same thing that I am on Cornetto. I'm counting. Oh, red wire. Yeah, that should be fine. I want to get in the habit of doing green wire for the input inserters, you know, but it's fine because this is just counting and these are all separate. So what I have is the count so I'm counting. This is 1, that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we should be transmitting 11. That's 13. Where's that other one? Oh, here it is right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 13. There we go. So I'm doing the same thing here. Now I decided to use the green wire for the inserters that insert the space capsule and the cargo rocket sections. And then I'm using red wire, and that's just a safety thing, because usually I use red wire for everything, right? So multiplying the space capsule by 1, outputting the space capsule to get that information, and then I'm taking the cases here and adding it to the outputs of these two. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have in here 18. And then that's what's being transmitted here. So we got 22. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 18. So I have a few more capsules that I need here. That is the point. So what I think on Novice, we should have 0 in that capsule there. That's the sulfur rocket. Here it is right here. Astis. Oh, there's 2. So I'll have to take those out when I get back here. Now I'd like to do a retroactive of this. Like I was saying, but it's kind of crazy, you know. Like for example, you know, I'd have to take this information here and then bounce it off of this commutator here, and it would I have to take it not necessarily this commutator. It'd have to be 20 because there's 20 rocket launches in this one, right? Well, I'm over now, so it's 22, and I want 20, not 21, but 20. So that's 2 extra. That means I have to pull those out. You know, so you have to do some math and all that, and hopefully it works. So I don't want to upset the apple cart, you know what I mean? So, yeah, so I'm going to pull those out to get that reset because I want to test that out. Okay, so I think I mentioned this is a recycling, or when those meteors hit, there's nothing I can do with the stupid crap. So I'm turning stone into landfill and shredding it up and all the other stuff here that comes out of those meteors. And I filtered the cases as opposed to the inserters because I don't want anything to go in here. And I should put... I think I'll put one... Yeah, I'm going to put a general purpose storage right here. Just in case. Okay. So I think I went over the fueling here. Or did I? I don't remember now. So, because you get pyroflux out of this process here, I decided, well, let me capitalize on that if this does run. So maybe I get a couple barrels of fuel out of this, and it'll save a rocket launch, you know. But so yeah, I'm just turning the pyroflux into fuel, rocket fuel. The only problem is though, I need iron. Oh, and I'm voiding the rare metal and the copper, and I'm compressing the copper into copper plate, and then voiding it. Because it's 1 to 4 on the large copper plate. Unfortunately, there's no enriched way or rare metal plate. That'd be kind of nice if it was, because I definitely would use this. So yeah, crushing that up. There. This is what you have to do. I think the mod needs a little work on the recipes because the waste products, like, okay, you're giving me sand here, and I'd love to use the sand to make the pyroflux. But I can't make the pyroflux on this planet because I need the other materials, you know. Well, maybe I don't know, maybe I can make the pyroflux. Well, if I make pyroflux here, it's not helping me. So that's the rebuild here. Now, going forward, you know, I'm going to be doing the 4 belts because we have a pretty decent prod and speed and efficiency module concept now, or we're at a good point where we get enough where we can actually use it. So I think I'm not going to redo the Cryonite planet yet. That will probably warrant a redo because the Cryonite rods, I think you can turn into the slush or something like that. Let's take a look at it real quick here. So obviously we need it for our level 3 efficiency modules, and that's going forward into the level 4s. We can blast. Ooh, 200. Ooh, I like that. Maybe I'll use that for the modules. Well, I have to have the planetary or the cannons on the planet. So here, oh wow, efficiency. Oh, okay, yeah, we're doing this one. So we need it for science. I thought this was the wider one. Okay, here, beryllium hydroxide. Now we only need 1 Cryonite rod for this, and we can prod this up to all get out. Especially that advanced chemical plant we'll get later. So we need the Cryonite rod for the beryllium, and that's going to come into play to get the beryllium plate. So we're going to need to send the Cryonite to other planets, and it takes forever. So that's why eventually I think I'm gonna go back to the Cryonite planet that we're on and plan for and get 4 belts of Cryonite rods, which is going to be a pain in the ass. Then we got the ion exchange beads. We're going to need that. And here's the Cryonite slush, which gives us water. We can get water in space with the Cryonite's rod and sulfuric acid. Here we got aeroframes. This is getting into the crazy kind of later mid game. Oh yeah. Here's deep space catalog, broad deep space. So we're looking at a lot of crazy stuff. Dynamic emitter. Holy cow. This looks like, okay, they're adding immersite to this. Holy cow. Quantum processor. Oh, look at this one. Blank data card. The junk data card, super cool thermal fluid with a Cryonite rod, and we get a potential return on the Cryonite rod, so we're going to have a loop on that. Holy cripes. Oh, look at this crap. We need a Cryonite rod for this. The Naquium Tesseract. Oh my god, what is this mess? Reality hypergraph analysis? Holy crap. Oh, now we need thermal radiator 2. Heavy assembly. Holy crap. This is like Pynodon's level stuff here. Getting close to it. So yeah, our Cryonite rod comes into play, as you can see, quite a bit in late game. But we're going to need it. Definitely need it. Oh dear. Okay, so yeah, that being said, you're always going to have to come back and revisit these builds and redo them. Because you're going to get better modules, better stuff, you know. But I'm really happy with the way this build went. So I think we're going to end it here on this particular milestone. And then I think, don't quote me on this, but I'd like to do the beryllium because we're going to need to be launching more rockets now. And that's why I had to come here and visit this and redo it all because we need more fuel. And then I'm going to have to redo the novice the rocket fuel thing, that build, I'm gonna have to add more pyroflux creators to rocket fuel, because in order to fuel all these rockets, it's gonna, you know, get expensive, and we're gonna need that quick. So beryllium is next, I think, because what that's gonna do is fold into, I think that the next science pack, which is the astrometrics. The reason I want to do this is because I want to get the survivability. So here is, I think, yeah, beryllium right here. The beryllium plate. I'm going to plan for 4 belts of beryllium plate. So beryllium plate, obviously science. And here's the cargo rocket section right here. So it's the same stuff, but I think the steel gets replaced with the beryllium plate. Now this is why I would be, I'm going to rebuild it, and then I'm going to train it around to the different locations that I have on Novice. And we'll have the loading area too. So that's the thing. And then we need it for the blank observation frame. And then later on, we have these things here. Yeah. Cryo gun. Oh, wow. Experimental alloys. I think that he's added a lot of different cards now. Gamma ray detector. Cool. Pressure vessel. Ooh, pylon. Oh, we need homium. So homium would be the next one. This pylon would be really nice to have for building. So that'd be cool. Spaceship booster tank. Wow. Cool. There you go. All right, so that's the plan. I think beryllium is next for sure, because we need to get better yield on our rockets, and we also need that science to get better rocket survivability and all that crap. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the new build here. This is kind of the direction we're going to be going for the near future. 4 belts of something, or, well, it's going to be, you know, like I got 1 blue belt of this. Now, oh, another thing too, I should mention, is that I can copy this whole thing. This entire build, maybe not steel, but the entire build can be copied and pasted now. And then I could put it on, you know, in another area. So I could have 4 of these on this planet. Or I could take this and copy it to another planet altogether. And then I can, you know, get the mining ops and everything up and running. And we can have, you know, 4 blue belts of pyroflux, or of the Vulcanite block. So this build is going to help us for the future, you know, for expansion. Now, when we unlock new modules and stuff, obviously, like I said, it's going to have to be refactored. And we do get faster belt with the Factorio mod, and we get the green belt, purple belt. It goes up to 90, I think. So a lot of these builds hopefully can be retrofitted. I'll have to look into the belts and see when those pop up. I'll, you know, have to look through the research there. But yeah, it'd be nice to get those faster belts. All right, so yep, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.